In the golden age of Hollywood, amidst the sparkling lights and the allure of fame, a star shone with a brilliance that captivated the world. Mary Pickford, known as America's Sweetheart, was not just a darling of the silver screen, but also a formidable force behind the scenes. Her angelic face and charming curls belied a will of iron and a determination to wield unparalleled control over her films. It was during the production of Coquette, 1929, a film that would earn her an Academy Award, that Pickford's iron grip on control came to a dramatic head. The set was abuzz with the usual flurry of activity, but beneath the surface, tensions were simmering. Pickford, insistent on perfecting her transition from silent film to talkies, clashed fiercely with director Sam Taylor. Her insistence on reshooting scenes, despite Taylor's objections, led to a notorious standoff that would become Hollywood legend. One particular incident epitomized the conflict. During a crucial scene, Pickford demanded yet another take, unsatisfied with her performance. Taylor, exhausted and frustrated by the endless retakes, challenged her decision. In response, Pickford, with a steely gaze and an unwavering voice, declared, "This is my picture, and we will shoot until I get it right." The set fell silent, the crew and cast caught in the crossfire of a battle of wills. This moment was emblematic of Pickford's career, a blend of immense talent and an unyielding desire for control. Her battles were not just with directors or studio executives, they were a reflection of a larger struggle for autonomy in an industry where women were often relegated to roles in front of the camera, not behind it. But what drove America's Sweetheart to assert such control? Was it a relentless pursuit of perfection, a response to the pressures of transitioning to talkies, or something more? Mary Pickford. Often hailed as America's sweetheart, Mary Pickford was a pioneer of early Hollywood, not just for her on-screen performances, but also for her formidable influence behind the scenes. However, her insistence on complete control over her films often led to significant conflicts, painting a picture of a star who was as much a stern taskmaster as she was a beloved actress. During the production of Coquette in 1929, Pickford's determination to transition successfully from silent films to talkies was put to the test. She was not only the star of the film, but also a producer, wielding considerable power over the production. Her commitment to perfection led to repeated clashes with the film's director, Sam Taylor. One of the most telling incidents occurred over a key scene that Pickford felt needed to be reshot. Taylor, confident in the footage already captured, resisted. Pickford, however, was unyielding. She believed the scene was crucial to her character's development and the film's success. Her insistence led to a heated exchange, with Pickford asserting her authority and overriding Taylor's decision. This incident delayed the production and increased the budget, but for Pickford, the artistic outcome justified the means. Pickford's control extended beyond the set. She was deeply involved in the editing process, often spending hours in the cutting room, ensuring that every frame aligned with her vision. Her hands-on approach was groundbreaking for an actress at the time, but it also led to her being perceived as overbearing and inflexible by some of her collaborators. Her dominance in film production was partly driven by her early experiences in Hollywood, where she saw firsthand how actresses could be exploited and marginalized. Determined not to fall into the same trap, Pickford took control of her career, making decisions that were traditionally reserved for male executives and directors. However, Pickford's assertiveness came at a cost. Her relationships with various directors and studio executives were often strained. The respect she commanded was sometimes tinged with resentment, and her unrelenting standards led to her being labeled difficult and demanding. Joan Fontaine. An actress celebrated for her poise and talent, Fontaine was equally known for her long-standing feud with her sister, Olivia de Havilland. This rivalry, deeply personal and fraught with complexity, extended into their professional lives, creating tension on sets and within the Hollywood community. The roots of Fontaine and de Havilland's feud were intricate, woven into the fabric of their early lives and careers. Both sisters were talented actresses, but the competition between them was fueled by more than just professional rivalry. It was a battle for recognition, approval, and love, both from their family and the industry. One of the most public manifestations of their rivalry occurred during the 1942 Academy Awards. Both Fontaine and de Havilland were nominated for Best Actress, Fontaine for Suspicion, and de Havilland for Hold Back the Dawn. The tension was palpable when Fontaine won the Oscar, a moment that should have been purely celebratory but was instead tinged with bitterness. The sisters' relationship, already strained, deteriorated further after this event. On set, Fontaine's interactions were often colored by this rivalry. Her relationships with directors and co-stars were sometimes strained, as many in the industry were aware of the feud and its undercurrents. This awareness created an atmosphere where Fontaine's actions and words were often scrutinized through the lens of her competition with de Havilland. Fontaine's feud with her sister was not her only challenge. She was known to have a reserved and somewhat aloof demeanor, which, while part of her on-screen charm, sometimes led to misconceptions about her personality. Her guarded nature was often mistaken for coldness, making it difficult for her to forge strong connections with some of her colleagues. Despite these challenges, Fontaine's career was marked by significant achievements. She delivered memorable performances in films like Rebecca, 1940, and Jane Eyre, 1943. However, her professional accomplishments were often overshadowed by her feud with de Havilland, a narrative that dominated public perception of both sisters. Merl Oberon. Celebrated for her captivating beauty and talent, Merl Oberon was a prominent figure in Hollywood's golden age. However, behind her enigmatic persona lay a reputation for being difficult, partly stemming from her secretive nature and her demanding behavior on set. Oberon's background was shrouded in mystery, a deliberate choice to craft a persona that aligned with Hollywood's glamorous expectations. She was notoriously secretive about her early life, which was marked by humble beginnings and racial ambiguity, a stark contrast to the image she presented in Hollywood. This secrecy was not just a personal choice, but a survival strategy in an industry and era where racial prejudice could severely limit her career. Her insistence on maintaining this carefully crafted image led to tensions with those she worked with. During the production of Wuthering Heights, 1939, Oberon's relationship with director William Wyler became strained. She was particular about how she was portrayed on screen, often clashing with Wyler over her character's depiction. Her demands for specific lighting and camera angles, driven by a desire to maintain her flawless on-screen appearance, often slowed down the production and frustrated the crew. Oberon's personal life was equally complex. Her marriages, particularly to producer Alexander Korda, were marked by power dynamics that spilled over into her professional life. Korda's influence helped shape Oberon's career, but it also led to perceptions of favoritism and added to her reputation as a challenging actress to work with. Despite her talent, Oberon's career was affected by her insistence on controlling her image and her often demanding behavior on set. Her reluctance to reveal her true self and her insistence on maintaining a certain level of mystique made her a complex figure to many in the industry. Jaaja Gabor. Known for her glamorous lifestyle, multiple marriages, and witty one-liners, Jaaja Gabor was a unique figure in Hollywood. Her flamboyant personality and extravagant lifestyle made her a beloved celebrity, but these same traits sometimes caused friction in her professional interactions. Gabor's approach to her career was as unconventional as her personal life. She was more famous for being famous than for any specific film role, a testament to her ability to maintain public interest through her personality alone. However, this approach sometimes led to conflicts with those who expected a more traditional work ethic and dedication to the craft of acting. One of the most notable examples of Gabor's challenging behavior occurred during guest appearances on talk shows and at public events. Her candid remarks and diva-like demands were part of her charm, but they also led to difficult situations. She had a reputation for being late, changing arrangements at the last minute, and making extravagant requests, which often put her at odds with producers and hosts. Gabor's personal life was a roller coaster of high-profile relationships and marriages, including a tumultuous marriage to hotel magnate Conrad Hilton. Her relationships were often the subject of media scrutiny, overshadowing her work as an actress. Her open attitude towards her marriages and love life was revolutionary for the time, but also led to her being labeled as difficult and unpredictable. Despite these challenges, Gabor's charisma and ability to captivate an audience were undeniable. She had a knack for keeping herself in the public eye, a skill that made her a lasting figure in Hollywood lore. Her appearances in films like Moulin Rouge (1952) and Lili (1953) showcased her talent, but it was her larger-than-life persona that truly made her a star. Jaaja Gabor's reputation in Hollywood is that of a woman who defied convention and lived life on her own terms. Her story is a blend of glamour, wit, and a nonconformist approach to fame. Betty Grable. Renowned as America's favorite pinup girl during World War II, Betty Grable charmed audiences with her talent and iconic looks. However, behind the scenes, Grable's insistence on certain conditions and top billing sometimes led to tension with studios, revealing a less-known aspect of her otherwise affable persona. Grable's status as one of the top box office draws came with significant influence, which she wasn't shy about using. Her insistence on top billing in her films was a well-known demand. This requirement, while understandable given her popularity, occasionally led to conflicts with co-stars and studio executives, especially when it involved ensemble casts or emerging talents. One notable instance of Grable's assertiveness occurred during negotiations for her film contracts. She was known for her specific requirements regarding salary, film roles, and even her co-stars. Her hard bargaining was a testament to her understanding of her worth as a star, but it also earned her a reputation for being demanding and difficult to negotiate with. Grable's insistence on having a say in her film roles and co-stars stemmed from her desire to maintain her image and career trajectory. However, this control over her career choices sometimes put her at odds with the studio's plans, leading to a tug-of-war over her film projects. Despite these behind-the-scenes tensions, Grable's on-screen persona remained that of the approachable and charming girl next door. She was immensely popular among the troops during World War II, symbolizing the ideal American woman. Her iconic pinup photo was a morale booster for soldiers, and her films were box office hits, solidifying her status as a Hollywood legend. Lana Turner. Known for her beauty and talent, Lana Turner was a prominent figure in Hollywood's golden age. However, her personal life, marked by tumultuous relationships and scandals, often overshadowed her career. Turner's temperament and the dramatic events surrounding her life affected her reputation and added a layer of notoriety to her public persona. One of the most defining moments in Turner's life was her involvement in the Johnny Stompanato homicide case. Stompanato, a known mobster and Turner's lover, was stabbed to death in Turner's home. The incident, which involved Turner's daughter Cheryl Crane, became a sensational scandal. Turner's testimony during the inquest, filled with emotion and drama, was front-page news and became a part of Hollywood lore. This tragic event and the media circus that followed cast a shadow over Turner's career and personal life. On set, Turner's personal struggles sometimes translated into challenging behavior. Her relationships with co-stars and directors were occasionally strained due to the stress and scrutiny she faced in her personal life. Turner was known for her strong will and assertiveness, traits that, combined with the pressures of her tumultuous personal affairs, sometimes resulted in a difficult working environment. Turner's numerous marriages and affairs were a constant source of media attention, contributing to her image as a troubled Hollywood star. Her relationship with Stompanato was just one of many high-profile and often problematic relationships that she navigated throughout her life. Despite these challenges, Turner's talent and star power were undeniable. She delivered memorable performances in films like The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1946, and Peyton Place, 1957. Her ability to captivate audiences remained strong, even as her personal life became fodder for public consumption. Susan Hayward. Recognized for her fiery red hair and equally fiery temperament, Susan was a celebrated actress in Hollywood. famed for her intense and passionate performances. However, her dedication to her roles and demand for perfection sometimes made her a challenging figure to work with, earning her a reputation for being formidable and uncompromising. Hayward's approach to her craft was marked by a fierce intensity. She immersed herself deeply in her roles, often pushing herself to emotional and physical extremes to deliver authentic performances. This dedication, while admirable, sometimes led to friction on set. Hayward was known to be exacting with directors and co-stars, insisting on a level of commitment and intensity that matched her own. One notable example of Hayward's demanding nature occurred during the filming of I Want to Live, 1958, a role for which she won an Academy Award. Hayward's portrayal of Barbara Graham, a woman on death row, was a tour de force, but the process of filming was intense. Hayward's insistence on authenticity led to several emotionally charged confrontations with director Robert Wise, as she pushed for scenes to be as realistic as possible, often demanding multiple retakes to capture the raw emotion she sought. Hayward's personal life was also marked by challenges. She faced several personal tragedies, including the death of her second husband, Eaton Chalkley, which deeply affected her. These personal struggles sometimes impacted her demeanor on set, where she could be withdrawn or exceptionally demanding, a reflection of the turmoil she was experiencing in her private life. Despite these difficulties, Hayward's talent was undeniable. She delivered a series of powerful performances in films like Smash Up, The Story of a Woman, 1947, and With a Song in My Heart, 1952. Her ability to portray complex and troubled characters won her critical acclaim and a dedicated fan base. Ava Gardner. With her striking beauty and captivating screen presence, Gardner was one of Hollywood's most iconic stars. However, her tumultuous personal life, including her high-profile marriage to Frank Sinatra, and her candid nature often brought her into conflict with the conservative standards of Hollywood at the time. Gardner's forthright personality was both refreshing and controversial. She was known for her frankness and unwillingness to conform to the demure image expected of female stars in that era. This candor, while endearing her to many, also led to tensions with studio executives who were wary of her outspokenness and its potential impact on her public image. One of the most public aspects of Gardner's life was her relationship with Frank Sinatra. Their marriage was highly publicized and tumultuous, marked by passionate love and equally passionate arguments. The intensity of their relationship spilled over into the public eye, creating a media frenzy that often overshadowed Gardner's professional achievements. On set, Gardner's straightforward approach sometimes translated into a perceived difficulty. She was uncompromising in her artistic choices and often clashed with directors over her character portrayals. Her insistence on authenticity in her performances led to disagreements and delays in production, but it also resulted in some of the most memorable performances of her career. Gardner's lifestyle, characterized by late-night parties and a social circle that included some of the most famous names in Hollywood, further fueled her reputation as a free spirit in an industry that was still bound by traditional values. Her refusal to lead a private life that aligned with the studio's conservative image of a star was seen as rebellious and challenging. Despite these challenges, Ava Gardner is one talented actress who lived life on her terms. She brought depth and complexity to her roles, from The Killers, 1946, to Mogambo, 1953, showcasing her range and talent. Gardner's story is a testament to the struggles faced by women in Hollywood who defied conventional standards and chose to live authentically, regardless of the controversies that might arise. Martha Raye. Celebrated for her comedic talent and dynamic stage presence, Martha was a beloved figure in the entertainment world. However, her strong personality and outspoken nature sometimes put her at odds with directors, fellow actors, and the Hollywood establishment. Raye's career spanned both film and television, where her boisterous and uninhibited style made her a favorite among audiences, but this same exuberance sometimes translated into challenging behavior on set. Raye was known for her candid opinions and did not shy away from expressing them, even if it meant clashing with those in charge. One incident that exemplified Ray's headstrong nature occurred during the filming of a television show. Known for her improvisational skills, Ray often deviated from the script, much to the chagrin of the director. During one particular taping, her ad-libbing led to a heated exchange with the director, who wanted her to stick to the written material. Ray, ever the performer, argued that her improvisations brought a genuine quality to her character, leading to a standoff that temporarily halted production. Ray's personal life was as colorful as her on-screen persona. Her multiple marriages and vibrant social life were the subject of much public interest. Her forthright demeanor in her personal affairs often mirrored her approach to her professional work, leading to a reputation for being bold and sometimes brash. Despite these challenges, Martha Ray's contributions to the entertainment industry were significant. She was a versatile performer, equally at home in comedic and dramatic roles. Her work in films like Monsieur Verdoux, 1947, and her television appearances showcased her range and ability to connect with audiences. Greer Garson. Recognized for her dignified on-screen persona and exceptional acting talent, Greer was a prominent figure in Hollywood's golden age. However, behind her poised and graceful image, Garson was known to have very particular working preferences. She preferred certain types of roles and would often be quite vocal if the direction of a film didn't align with her expectations. Garson's insistence on maintaining a certain standard in her roles stemmed from her commitment to her craft and her image as a sophisticated actress. This commitment, while admirable, sometimes led to tensions with filmmakers. Garson was not one to shy away from expressing her opinions on scripts and character development, and her suggestions were not always well received. One notable example of Garson's exacting standards occurred during the production of Mrs. Miniver, 1942, a role that won her an Academy Award. Garson was deeply involved in shaping her character, insisting on changes to the script to better reflect the strength and complexity of the character. While her input undoubtedly contributed to the film's success, it also led to a strained relationship with the director, William Wyler, who was accustomed to having more control over his productions. Garson's approach to her career was also evident in her choice of roles. She often sought out parts that aligned with her image as an elegant and intelligent woman, turning down roles that she felt did not meet these criteria. This selectiveness, while ensuring she maintained a certain caliber of work, also limited the range of characters she portrayed and sometimes led to disagreements with studios over the direction of her career. Despite these challenges, Garson's contributions to cinema were significant. She delivered memorable performances in films like Goodbye, Mr. Chips, 1939, and Random Harvest, 1942. Her ability to portray strong, dignified women made her an inspiration to many and a symbol of grace and talent in Hollywood. Do you know any other interesting accounts we could cover in future videos? Let us know in the comments and check out the next video.